there and whatever narratives are out there. And it doesn't work because it's this kind of very flawed, limited model. And there's confusion. And that confusion means it's pretty disheartening when you're confused, right? Because at least if you get direct feedback of, okay, well, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and if you follow this strategy, then you'll get to your end result. But no one's really saying that. The strategies that men are following to get women are probably, in most cases, very archaic, outdated strategies. And so you're kind of stuck in a hamster wheel of trying to do the right thing, following the conventional knowledge, but the conventional knowledge isn't even the right thing. And actually, the final thing I'll say is that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, which, I mean, it's one of the most old gender books out there, and it's just so outdated. It's like back
Thank
in
you
the
for saying that. I
oh
even hate this book, and I hate when people reference it. And it's like
oh
I'm of the mindset that men and women are different, but that takes it to an extreme
no,
level. I'm like,
I
the
know, I
men are
know,
like stupid cavemen, and I'm
I
like,
know, I know,
they
I
have
know,
no EQ,
I
and they're
know,
like,
I know,
"Ugh, oh,
I
drive
know.
me
No,
crazy."
and you see that, like, you look at The Simpsons, you look at Family Guy, you look at all of the depictions. It's always this like oaf of a husband
Yes,
who's
yes.
somehow still the breadwinner, even though he's a drunk and farting everywhere. It's bizarre. It's utterly bizarre. No, spot on. Like, these are all really dated models, and a lot of them are very subconscious too. This is the thing. I think we very rarely would people actually stop to think about a program like Family Guy and think like, this is a really unhealthy model of masculinity that I've grown up with. This idea that the husband can't even figure out what to get his wife for Christmas. Like, men
My,
are smarter than that. Men are better
yes.
than that,
My
right?
dad, I remember my dad calling it out with the show Everybody Loves Raymond. And
Oh
my dad
God,
said
yeah.
that he was like, I'm so sick of this, of men always being so stupid. He was like, why do the men always have to be so stupid and they just don't know anything? And it's like, if you keep showing men that over and over, they're eventually going to fall in line and go, oh, I'm stupid. I don't know what to do with women.
100%, 100%, right? And then you get into that classic hamster wheel of, well, I'm getting rejected, so I'm gonna go online and read some stuff, and you might end up, if you're really unlucky, in the incel space. Start going down that route, which, my goodness, there's a lot of that out there. You might go on Reddit, I don't know what platforms, but generally speaking, the information out there is pretty awful. Like, it's really, again, unhelpful stuff that's very outdated, completely disconnected to what the modern day high, high achieving, high performance, high value, whatever you want to call it, woman wants. And also, again, gender identities are much more fluid these days. Like, it's not so black and white. So anyhow, so there comes with that a frustration and a confusion. And then when you get stuck in that frustration and confusion, eventually you get discouraged. And then eventually, like I hear from my clients, is this kind of feeling of just feeling defeated, feeling completely disheartened, and like, I don't, maybe it's not for me, maybe I missed the boat, maybe I need to go make more money, maybe I'm too nice. And then if you're really unlucky, anger sets in, the one of the most only common, like, only accepted emotions amongst men. And then you go off the rails, and it's, yeah, awful.
And it's no wonder that men are wanting to give up, or they're going, I think, they have these pills like the red pill guy, and there's this whole
Hmm.
called men going their own way, which I had one video blow up on YouTube, and they just were like, brutal, you're an idiot, and you're this and that. And these
Yeah.
very angry men, but like, there's a part of me that kind of is like, okay, whatever, but then there's the heart of it, that these are human beings on the other side of the
Yeah.
street who have been so beat up and so neglected and so fed the wrong information, and they're like, I did what society said, I did what these books said, and I've been nothing but taken advantage of. I'm not respected by women, I'm not loved by
Yeah.
women, and so I'm pissed and I'm frustrated and I want to give up and I just want to spend the rest of my life alone, which we all know that that's not true, because each of us are biologically wired for relationship, for connection.
Yeah.
And so when you say, I just want to go on my own, it's like, the mere fact that you were on this planet, you did not get here on your own. It took a mother, it took a father, it took a doctor, it took a whole village to bring you into this world. And so we never go without that need. But you
Yeah.
see who are now positioning themselves to go without that, to without have that connection. And then we wonder why the suicide rate is so
I
high
know.
amongst men. They're so freaking lonely, but they're frustrated because they've given so much of the wrong information that they're like, the hell with it. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know which way is up from down.
Absolutely. No, like spot on, spot on. And I think that, I mean, this is why I've done masculinity my whole life, because it occurred to me from such a young age when I saw, you know, my loved one, like my favorite men in my life suffering. And I was like going around, like reading the literature out there and thinking, this doesn't add up. This is the stuff that I'm reading that women want is not what I want. I remember reading that as like an 11-year-old girl and being like, no. Right. And my whole, yeah.
Entertainment purposes, can you just go over what they said that women wanted? I just want to hit that really clear. What did they say that we wanted?
I can't even remember. I honestly think I blacked out of my memory. I was so disappointed in it. It was a lot of the control. There's always a lot of that. And what I see now that I hear a lot of is a lot of that, I call it toxic polarity, where it's all about desire and lust and like take the woman and take control of the situation and tell her what to do and throw her around on the floor, whatever. And it's, yeah, there's an element of like, that is nice. That's like the kind of polarity element, the difference, but that doesn't work if you don't have a foundation of safety, trust, and intimacy. And that's the thing that's missing. And to build safety, trust, and intimacy, you need to connect with the other, the woman, from a place of commonality, of sameness, right? Of humanity, of emotion, of vulnerability, of depth, of heart. If you don't do that and you go straight to the polarity and to the lust and the desire and like, oh, masculine, feminine, whatever, it's toxic, it's abusive, because there's no foundation of trust and safety. It's manipulation half the time.